Marjorie Martin, M-A-R-T-I-N.
Thank you. Good morning, Detective.
Good morning.
Detective, what do you do for a living?
I'm a deputy with Monroe County Sheriff's Office,
How long have you held that position?
19 years.
And do you have all the training, certification, and education necessary to be a peace officer in the state of Michigan?
I do.
And were those all in place on April 20th of last year?
Yes, they were.
Were you working that day?
No, I was called in to work.
Okay, why were you called into work?
I am an evidence tech with the Sheriff's Department, and I'm in charge of the evidence and property room.
And where were you called into specifically?
The Swan Boat Club.
And that's located in Berlin Township, Newport, Michigan, County of Monroe?
Yes, it is.
You responded to the Swan Boat Club?
Yes, I did.
And once you got there, did you receive an assignment?
Yes, my job as an evidence tech is to take pictures of the crime scene for, if it goes to court, and collect any evidence that's needed.
Okay. Did you take photos while you were there?
Yes, I did.
Take photos of the scene?
Yes.
And you also took some of the MEI photos, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
For the jury, what does MEI stand for?
Medical Examiner Investigator.
And what is that?
The detectives are trained, and some of our deputies are trained to examine the bodies for kind of like a pre-medical exam before the autopsy. We do that at the crime scene.
And those photos go to the medical examiner eventually?
Yes.
And so you took both photos of the scene and photos of the kids who had passed away?
Yes, I did.
And you've had an opportunity since to review those photos?
Yes.
And they're a fair and accurate depiction of what you saw at the scene that day?
Yes.
So, Judge, people are going to move to admit People's 8. That's 8A to 8 quadruple N. That's 8N. Photos taken by Deputy Martin at the scene of the Swan boat crash. People would note for the record that although she did take MEI photos, we are not submitting those to the jury.
Your Honor, if I may just have maybe 15 seconds to confirm, and I may stipulate to it. We did talk prior, Mr. Lorraine and I. No objection, Your Honor.
People's 8A through 8 quadruple N are admitted.
Thank you, Judge. And we don't intend to publish these at this time. They're just for the jury upon deliberation.
Okay.
Detective, I'm sorry. You're also assigned to run the evidence room at the sheriff's office, is that right?
Yes.
And so you deal with blood samples from OWI investigations on a regular basis, is that right?
Yes, I do.
What does the sheriff typically do when a blood kit from an OWI investigation comes into the evidence room?
So the deputy that collects it puts it into our evidence lockers. They're secured evidence lockers, kind of picture.
Your Honor, I would object to this. It would be irrelevant as to what sometimes they do. It would be, in this case, what was done. Which one's?
It is to show the conformity of procedure with this case with typical procedure.
I think it is a procedural issue. The objection is overruled. Make it
So our evidence lockers, we have a hallway that is open to the deputies. There's 56 lockers. Each one has a key, and it's secured. Each lock is keyed differently. So when the deputy collects the sample or any piece of evidence, they get into our computer software, describe the evidence item, toxicology kit, whatever it is, and then there's a section that's called temporary evidence locker. The computer tells you which lockers are open. They select a locker. They then walk to the hallway, confirm that that locker is open by having a key. They drop it in the locker, lock it, and then they put the key in locker item 1. There's a little slit for the keys. And then the evidence and property room has those same lockers on the other side. The only people that have keys to the evidence room was, at the time, myself and Captain Raymond. I was responsible for the daily activities of that and emptying those lockers. So every day I'd come in, my I would collect the keys, and I would also check my computer system, which would tell you where the items are. I would open the locker from the inside of the evidence room, confirm that that was the item that was there, and then for the toxicology kits, they would typically, I check it in the computer, I move it from temporary storage to external out of service, or not out of service, apologize, out of custody, and I put it in the mail typically. And the U.S. mail delivers it to the lab.
Is that what, so are you familiar with the toxicology kit from this case?
Yes.
And up till what you've described, were all those procedures followed to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, they were.
But did you place that toxicology kit in the mail?
So this one did not go into the mail.
What did you do with this kit?
Deputy Krieger came to me and said that he was going to personally drive it to the lab in Lansing.
Okay. Does the Monroe County Sheriff's Office refrigerate toxicology kits that come in?
No, we do not.
In your 19 years employed by the Sheriff's Office, have you ever known them to do so?
No.
Okay. No further questions for this witness, Judge.
Cross?
Do you know if the state refrigerates the toxicology of blood? Do you know if the state, once they obtain it, that they refrigerate it?
I do not know what they do with it.
That's fair. I didn't know if you had any experience at that level. No. Okay. I don't have any other questions.
All right. May this witness be excused.
From the people, yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next witness.
Judge, people call Lieutenant Brian Satilli.